everybody, and welcome back to Together, the podcast that is all about bridge building in every area of your life.
Word life.
Word life. I am your host, Mina Thomas Brett.
And I am your co-host.
I'm your other host. The other host.
Okay.
I am her. We are your hosts, Mina Thomas Brett and
Bryden Thomas Brett.
Every time we do this intro, this happens. It's okay.
It's kind of on purpose at this point.
Oh, is it?
So for you obviously.
What? No, you've been doing this on purpose the whole time.
That's not it.
Okay. Anyway, we welcome you back. Thank you so much to everybody who's tuning in, who tunes in every week. We thank you for coming back. For the new people, welcome. Before we start, we just want to make sure that we say thank you to everybody who is subscribed, who is locked in with us. Thank you for everybody who watches the clips. Thank you to everybody who donates and helps us to keep this going. We're really grateful for that, for your comments, for engaging with us. We are always excited to see what you guys have to say. Even when it be a little bit spicy sometimes, we still like when y'all engage. We want to welcome you to like, comment, subscribe, all the things. Get on our website. Tell us what it is you want us to talk about. Make suggestions for people that you want to come on the pod. Also, too, as well, también, additionally, we would like to invite you to come on a cruise with us. Come cruise with us, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Hey. August of 2026, we are going on a cruise. And it's just going to be a family and friends type of situation. We're inviting everybody to come. At first, it was just going to be couples, but we're like, nah, because we got a lot of singles that want to chill with us. So, come hang out with us.
Yeah,
and everybody is welcome.
We're going to be doing a couple of workshops and like gatherings. We'll be doing some guided tours.
Oh.
Because we are tour guides. We know.
I didn't know we was doing guided tours, but.
Yep. It's a carabiner.
Shut up.
What?
Shut up.
We have an inside joke.
Anyway.
Wow.
We have
okay. We're feeling light and happy.
We're light and happy. It's summertime. Summertime. We match. It's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a vibe.
That's never intentional.
I know, but it always happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm pretty excited because we have a guest on this episode.
Secret guest. You wouldn't know who it is based on the description of the title.
Well, yeah, you guys already know who it is, but I want to introduce her, real official. Like, I found this bio on the internet and I cannot wait to read this because
we'll have it. We'll have her fact check.
Because actually I found a couple of them and I was like, I wanted to read the wrong one to you just to see what you would say. But I like this one because it's funny. Ysabelle Maria Cuevas is a singer, songwriter, and arranger from Los Angeles, California. She has been writing music since she was 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
She has worked with various producers both in the U.S. and internationally. Ysabelle is currently signed to the independent label Mixtapes and Music, which is based in Los Angeles. Her musical style is a mix of pop, R&B, and soul. Ysabelle was born on March 8th, 1996 in Los Angeles, California. She was raised in a musical family with her mother being a singer and her father being a producer.
Oh.
Ysabelle grew up listening to classic R&B and soul music from artists such as Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and Aretha Franklin. This inspired her to pursue a career in music. At the age of 15, Ysabelle began writing her own songs and recording them in her father's studio. She eventually gained enough experience to start producing her own tracks. In 2017, after graduating from high school, she released her first EP, Ysabelle, which included songs such as Love Me Right and Goodbye. In 2018, she released her second EP, Me and You, which featured collaborations with producers such as FKI First and Kato on the track. The EP gained some attention from various media outlets, including Billboard magazine and The Fader. In 2019, Ysabelle released her debut album, Love and War, which featured production from Grammy award-winning producers such as Danja and Fabian Mariscal. The album was praised for its mixture of pop, R&B, and soul elements. Ysabelle has also collaborated with several other artists, including Tyga, YBN, Almighty J, and Lil Mosey. Influences. Ysabelle has cited various artists as influences on her sound, including Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Sade, and Beyonce. She has also revealed that she draws inspiration from non-musical influences, such as personal experience and relationships.
That one, yes.
Yeah. Favorite artist.
Your discography. Studio album, Love and War in 2019. EPs, Ysabelle in 2017, and Me and You in 2018. How much of this is true?
Probably none of them.
None of it is true.
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Ysabelle.
Okay. Maria?
Maria is definitely not my
No.
This is not you.
That is not me.
What?
But she sounds like a very successful woman.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait
congrats,
a minute.
Ysabelle Maria Cuevas.
But it's got your picture,
Well,
right? Or no?
I don't know. That picture's far away enough that it could not be her.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I did release, and my first EP was
Ysabelle.
called
It
Ysabelle.
was called Ysabelle. Okay.
Okay.
But wow.
And what about
okay.
that collab with Tyga? How'd that go?
I mean, he was really nice.
Yeah. And Kato on the track. and what a
okay, so
producer.
this one is truer.
Mm-hmm.
I
Let's hear
think.
it.
Let's see. Here goes. This one is okay. Ysabelle Cuevas, YouTube star. Birthday September 2nd, 1996.
Uh-huh.
Birthplace Philippines.
Uh-huh.
Age
There we
28
go.
years old.
But we're like the same age to that Maria Cuevas.
Yeah, you
I
are.
know.
That's weird.
Crazy.
I gotta look this up.
She's a musician who is widely known for her self-titled YouTube channel. She has earned 530 plus million views over there for her acoustic guitar and vocal covers of popular songs, including Closer by the Chainsmokers, with more than 2 million total views. She has gone on to release original music as well. She began her YouTube channel on March 7, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
She has amassed
Notable.
more than I know, right? She has amassed more than 2.8 million subscribers to her YouTube channel. She later would appear on the competition show Rising Legends in 2017.
True.
She's active
she
on
did.
Instagram with over 110,000 followers. She was born and raised in the Philippines and later lived in California. This sounds more like you.
Yes.
This is, listen to this. She made an Instagram post with her mother for Mother's Day in 2021. What is that?
What is going on with the internet?
Her January 2017 cover of Bruno Mars' single Versace on the Floor earned more than 1 million views in just over a month of being live on YouTube.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Wow, where do they get these?
A girl, I don't know, but I did this with Taylor and it was so funny that I was like,
That's wild.
I have to do this. I have to do this for Ysabelle. They got a good one on Family Search, though.
So Ysabelle is here. And this is what
hold on. We got to do that. We got to welcome her. Welcome. Everybody, you welcome. At home. Ysabelle Cuevas.
Oh my god.
Not truly though, man.
She's so cute.
She's one thing that a lot of people don't maybe know about Ysabelle is that she's low-key a comedian. She's
For sure.
High key.
High key is crazy.
High key. I'm sorry, high key.
High key a comedian.
You spend any amount of time in her presence, she's gonna make you laugh.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
It's so interesting because you're like reading my bio as if I hadn't like cried on your couch before.
Right. No, that's what's so funny is like I mean, that's why we're light and happy because we were just chopping it up before we started filming, you know,
Exactly.
and just, did I say filming? What am I, a boomer?
Boomer.
That's a very boomer thing to say.
Yeah, but before we started shooting, we were just chopping it up, you know, because like Izzy is like she's like our sister, you know, like we just feel like siblings,
little baby,
you
little
know,
sister.
you know,
Little
and
baby.
so we're just grateful to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
But we also forget like you're freaking cool.
Yeah, like you're a big deal. You're
Yeah.
a pretty big deal.
I mean, that's what my father in heaven says.
Wow.
Let's get into some faith
I
talk.
am.
Get some faith
I am
talk.
a big deal. Hey.
Yes, you are. That's right. Fearfully and wonderfully made. Hallelujah.
Exactly.
And amen. Yeah. So today, we talk faith, we talk relationships, we talk bridge building, and what's cool is we have so many musical friends that
Yeah.
now that we're having friends on the pod, I think
We can talk about music now because it's
'Cause
not
that-
something we really talk about.
and music is
Really?
like
Music
huge.
is most of our life.
Yeah,
Exactly.
For us. So yeah, so I'm excited to talk about all of the above with you.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you have sung what you have been saying 3 times in the past, like, I don't know, 20 minutes
That's
that
a
we were
fact. Yeah.
introing.
The 20-minute intro is crazy.
Oh, no, I was estimating. I wasn't. The thing about this is this is going to be really hard because you're like older siblings to me, and I just can't not be tempted to
Oh.
to just make fun of him.
Oh, great.
Right
Okay.
in the whole
Good.
time.
Okay, good. Let's go. Oh,
He's-
well, we can.
He's trying to hold back. But if you
Listen,
start, he's gonna go.
We
along
will
with it.
spar. All right. So tell us your story. Like what was missed in the bio? Like what do people need to know about Izzy's story?
I don't know. I think the bio is definitely very numbers heavy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think a lot of it, I mean, I think I've said this on Taylor's podcast too, but like the reason I started my YouTube channel was because my mom left for the Middle East to provide for our family when we were in the Philippines, and she didn't see my little brothers growing up, so I like started the channel so I can post home videos
Oh wow.
of my little brothers
Aw.
singing nursery rhymes growing up. And then she was like, I really miss hearing you sing. And so my dad would like prop up a camera, and like the bathroom had the best acoustics, so he would record me singing and would like send it to my mom, and then my sister would be like sharing all of my covers on Facebook, like, you know, those
Wow.
huge Facebook groups in the past.
Yes.
She'd be like, oh my gosh, check her out, as if I wasn't like coaching her the whole time to do it. And she would just do that every time I posted, and some videos like got picked up, and my first viral videos were from that. And my sister just like doing the legwork of
Wow.
of my music. And yeah, so I don't think I've ever like done like videos before that, but it definitely was, music started for me because of my family, because it was something that they were pushing me to do. I have terrible stage fright.
Really?
And it was my family who was just always like, no, I already signed you up for it, so
So
too late now.
wow.
And so because I was like this like super self-conscious kid growing up, YouTube was a safe space for me. It was this place where I could just prop up my phone and like record myself singing, and yeah, just like not worry about what people say. And then
Yeah.
I discovered the comment section.
Right. I was like, how did you do that?
Did you do that? Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, some people are mean, but most people are like
Yeah.
really kind.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how it all started. And then I signed my first like distribution deal like in 2018, I think, and they were like, we really want to hear you release original music. And
Yeah.
I'd never really written a song prior to that.
Yeah.
So I just was like, okay, cool. And I wrote a song about traffic in the Philippines and relating that to love. And yeah, so I mean, and it
Wow.
just went from there. I like fell in love with writing music and just producing, and I've for the most part have had to like do most of the visuals and the audio myself, and so like I fell in love with producing, and yeah, so and editing videos and telling stories through art. It's just and it's been great. I'm still doing that. So I guess that's what the bio missed.
You're
Yeah.
also a nurse.
Oh yeah, that too. I was doing all that while I was going to nursing school.
It's crazy.
Yeah, in 20, yeah. I don't know when it was. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's amazing. There's a lot of
Wow.
that I didn't know. And yeah, what's really cool is like your aesthetic, right? So and you are doing video, you're capturing, you're editing, you're doing audio capture, you're editing and producing, and I think you've kind of become a one-stop shop in a lot of ways, which is pretty impressive.
Is
Like your
Thank you.
vocals, what you produce vocally is like really amazing, and your
you
videos are
have such a
great.
great voice.
It's so cool.
You
I love
too.
the cover that you did, and you put it in Tagalog, the Forrest Frank
Oh,
song.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So much fun.
I think I commented on it. Like David literally dropped what he was doing and came over to the phone and was like, and he just watched it over and over.
He loves that
He
song.
loves that
I
song. So
love
then he's like,
David.
is that Ysabelle? And I said, yeah, it's Ysabelle. And he's like, he just stared. He watched it probably 10 times in a row. He loves that song. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
Would
the
you
song
wait
is
for the
called
ch-
Your Way is Better, but he calls it Always Better.
always better.
It's always
Cute.
better.
He's already a songwriter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A
I
parody
love that
writer,
better.
apparently.
Always
Yeah,
better.
Always better.
Mhm.
Okay, Davey.
Oh man, I have so many questions. So songwriting, I kind of had an interesting I never wrote a song till I was like 24. But I grew up on stage. And so I was singing all these covers, all these, top 40 hits from multiple generations, and that's what I listened to. So I had this like really deep musical lexicon. And so the first
lexicon.
come on, syntax, lexicon. So I remember I said, I'm gonna start writing. And I wrote and produced my first one, and I played it for this Nashville mentor person from NSAI, and she taught me this really valuable lesson. She said, because there are a few other people that came from my same hometown in Branson who kind of had followed the same track, and she said, what I've noticed about you is that it's input output, because you've listened to so much commercially successful music. The music you write, you understand form, you understand what works, just right out the gate, right? So I'm just wondering, like, how is that for you? Like, because you've been doing covers, right? High quality covers, and so did your songwriting? Do you feel like you entered the songwriting game like above people who are just like coming into songwriting like beginner level? Like, did you kind of enter and then go up, or do you kind of feel like a beginner? I'm just wondering, like, the covers, like, how much did that influence your ability to write hit songs?
I think hit songs is crazy. What
Right.
do you?
No, well, hit song meaning
Yes.
could be a hit, right?
Right.
Commercially,
Manifesting
right?
hit songs. Yeah.
Your
for sure.
songs sound like hits. Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's so nice. I think it did in some way. I think being able to like learn what I love in music and what like the melodies I gravitate towards. I like when I go to writing sessions, some of my co-writers would say like, "Oh, that's an Ysabelle melody. Like that's an Ysabelle pre. That's such an Ysabelle pre," and they would clock it in immediately. And that wasn't really something I did consciously. It was just like the kind of music I listened to, and because I like played guitar first, and like it was just like the melodies that come when I like play guitar. And I feel like it helped me when I was starting to do a lot of songs like on my own. It helped me like structure songs in a way that felt intuitive and natural, but it depends. Like when I started writing with other people, like it was very much like surprising to me how I couldn't keep up like in the beginning, but like how doable it was. Like I was like running while people were walking, but I was running. Like I was keeping up with people who have been writing for a long time, and it was like super cool to see because it was like I think it was because of years and years of like producing my own stuff and singing other people's songs and my own way. I think. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely
What's the
makes sense.
language barrier like?
Oh,
Is it hard to like? Because I noticed that in your covers and stuff, a lot of time you'll be like, "What if this song was in Tagalog?" You know, and so
Yeah.
you'll like
Yeah.
take a popular song
Uh-huh.
and translate it. Like, what is that like when you're writing your own music? Is it like sometimes you're like,
Mm.
"Yeah, I'm writing this in English," and then you get a phrase in Tagalog, and you're like, "Wait, how do I translate that?" You know what I mean? Like, how is that?
Gotcha. It hasn't been that. Like, I feel like it's pretty seamless. Like, sometimes I feel like I know things better in Tagalog, and sometimes I know things better in English, but sometimes I feel like I don't know either. Like, it just comes out, and I'm just like, okay, how do I say this?
Yeah.
Like, because I don't even know how to say it in Tagalog. How do you know? It's pretty seamless. I feel like I've lived my life equally in the Philippines and here. The English comes to me more naturally when I write songs. It's a lot harder for me to write songs in Tagalog. When I translate,
Oh.
it's such a really beautiful language, and every time I translate songs, it's always for I want you to know how beautiful this language is and how beautiful the song translates to it. So that's like why I do it, and it's like I just kind of have to say that because people have been hating on me on TikTok.
Really?
Because
why?
like they're just like, oh, it doesn't hit. It doesn't sound so good in Tagalog or what. But I feel like it's just
Right.
like this like newness in hearing
Yeah.
the language in
Interesting.
an international sounding production.
Who are
Or, like,
who are the people that are saying this?
It's the Filipinos.
Oh, really?
It be your own people.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed like I'm a comment section girly.
Yeah.
So I will get in the
Mhm.
comments and be like, what they say. So if I like a video, that's
Mhm.
the first thing I'm gonna do is go to
Yeah.
the comments. And especially if my friends are the ones who posted it, I'm going to the comments. And so I noticed that in the comment section, it'll be like split. Like the people who
Yeah.
speak English are like, "Oh my gosh, your voice is amazing. This is great."
Yeah.
Da, da, da. But then like if the person, a lot of times if the people are Filipino, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you did this. Thank you. I needed
Yeah.
this version," you know. Or then be like, "Just leave it alone. Like it's fine in English. You did
Yeah.
not need to do that." And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you didn't like it, you could have scrolled. You did not have to say
Oh.
anything. Anyway,
It's so people can be unkind on the internet.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's mostly because you can't see them.
Yeah.
Because you can't engage, like they can't
Yeah.
talk to you. They would never say most of the things that they're saying
Right.
behind their little screen. They would never say to your face.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that I can't stand about people that like share their opinions so freely on the internet. Because
Mhm.
it's like, you would never say that if you were sitting in front of me.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like I wish it didn't bother me. Like,
Right.
but after that first like translation that I did, because I'd never done that before. I usually do English translations, like to English, like Korean songs to English, Chinese songs to English, Tagalog songs to English.
I'm sorry, do you speak all those languages?
No.
Okay.
Korean I understand just a little bit. But I like rewrite the songs because you see the English translations, like official English translations, but I have to rewrite it in a songwriter way for sure. And it was the first time I like did a Tagalog translation, and it was very much like I was so excited to share my language, and I was like, oh, it's so cool to hear it in our language, and it was like kind of disappointing but which I was like done for a month, like
Right, kind of disappointing.
kind of I left and like
Yeah.
crawled in a hole for a month thinking that this everything people were saying were true, that I wasn't good enough, or like
Right.
this was like trash, and it didn't help that it was coinciding with a life-altering event like a breakup.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to speak to that real quick.
Yes.
Because I know how that feels. I know, you can get 5,000 positive comments and 2 really bad ones are what stick with you. But I mean, there's a few different things that I'm thinking. Like, a publicist would say that no feedback is bad feedback.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
no all publicity is good publicity, even if it seems
Mhm.
like it's bad. All, like, and that's what people don't understand about algorithms. Is like, if you comment, you're doing me a favor. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? If it goes viral for the wrong reason, it went viral.
Mhm.
You know, and you can use that as momentum.
Mhm.
But the thing that I'm really thinking about is that the presence of opposition is a compliment to your mission. It is not, it's not even like the Lord allows these things. We have to remember that too. Because nothing happens that he doesn't allow.
Mhm.
It's allowed as a compliment. Because I heard someone say that thieves don't come to an empty vault. They don't come to steal from an empty vault.
Mhm.
And so if you have negativity or anything that seems like opposition, it's a compliment to your mission, because the enemy is not going to mobilize and send forces after somebody who doesn't matter.
Mm.
And so you matter in so many ways. You matter in music. You matter in to the Lord in the spiritual realm. You matter to the people who do spend the time listening to your covers, to those 500 million streams. Those people, you matter to them. You speak into their lives. You sing into their lives. And obviously there is something about you that is engaging enough that they keep coming back. So the people who take the time to comment something mean are still doing you a favor.
Mhm.
And they're letting you know that, you know, the Lord is making a way before you. He's paving the path before you. Because if he wasn't, they wouldn't even be able to approach you.
Mm.
And that's just something that you need to remember. The presence of opposition is a compliment to your mission. It's not there to insult you or
Right.
tear you down.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're sparring partners.
I don't like boxing.
Right. No, that's beautiful, babe.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love that.
It's still.
I'm not like, it's not meant to diminish, you know, what it feels like,
mhm.
obviously, because it feels pretty monumental. But it's just, whenever I face opposition, I want it to, it's not yet, but I want it to be like my first mind to be like one of my brothers, he says, like, he asked the Lord to make gratitude his first mind. Like, no matter what happens, like, thank you, Lord. I don't know why this is happening, but thank you. I'm not sure what you have in mind that this is, like, you know, working on. Like, what part of my character are you developing? But thank you, you know. And I want it to be my first mind to be like automatically focusing on the positive thing. But, you know, you get opposition, and the first question is like, why is this happening? You know what I mean? Like, someone hits you, you don't go, thank you, Lord. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's a noble thought, but it's not always easy to, like, that's the first thing you pull up when you face opposition. Usually it's like, oh, what the heck? You know, like,
you don't know me.
right?
No.
You like, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
always gets me, because
Yeah.
it's like, if you knew me, you would not say that to me.
Mhm.
And that gets me a lot.
Right.
Especially like some of our comments, like, ain't no way you would get in my face with this if you actually were in my space. There's no way. But people get a lot of comfort behind their little screens. They get very comfortable.
I definitely think it was intentionally happening during a time where I felt personally like
less than.
Because I felt like, you know, reading these comments was like, well, if someone in my life who knew me like thought the same thing, then they must be true. So I just kept like looking for that validation, like that kind of truth, quote unquote truth. and just like kind of absorbing a lot of it because I was like in such a place where I didn't believe how God saw me, like, you know.
Mhm.
And I think, like, looking back now, like, it just happened a couple of months ago, but it was like in definitely like towards the more like gratitude, thank you for that, because if that didn't happen then all these blessings that are lighting up now wouldn't feel like blessings, but they'd feel like burdens to me right now.
Wow.
What?
And you know what I mean?
Girl, them some song lyrics.
Thank you, Jesus.
Write it down.
I love you.
I love that.
Yeah, it'd feel more like like I wouldn't be able to like be grateful for everything that's happening right now because of that. Even like, for example, that song cover that like opened a lot of projects for me. Like labels are reaching out like, hey, could you cover this song, and it's like, let me go more part-time at my day job and actually pursue music.
Let's go.
You know what I mean?
Let's go.
And like in the moment, you're not really gonna be like, thank you, Heavenly Father, for the haters. They're gonna pay my bills in a couple of months. Like that's not something that it's just like, I think the humility that brought about, and that the introspection that caused, like during that time where I was being prepared, was so helpful to like, I've been like, one thing, tangents that the Lord has been teaching me recently is how much I've been living in like a state of earning and not being.
Dang.
Like I just felt like I just kept earning what people, and that's the only reason I read comments, was like, okay, what do people need to see from me in the future? Like that's the kind of trend I followed in creating music or creating content. And I just like realized how much like that was like, how much like useless that was in my growth, because it just like led me to like start thinking about like, what part of me do I not feel good with in being, that I have to like seek that out from other people, like from comments or from relationships or from people other than God.
Wow.
And so I've been like super grateful for that, for the hate, for them haters. Oh my gosh, this is such a long-winded answer to your question, but yeah, for that kind of, because I wouldn't have leaned on the Lord if that didn't happen. Like if that didn't feel so like so hurtful, I wouldn't have like come to the healer for wholeness. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it was such a necessary era.
And it does suck if you don't have the perspective on it like that. I've come to realize that pain and pleasure cause transformation, and so when I feel heavy, deep pain, as I'm learning how in that moment to recognize this is a defining moment, and this is an opportunity. When I'm opened up this, because normally I'm pretty low key, you know, like I'm just like pretty even, but when I'm feeling pain, I know my heart is open, and that's an opportunity for seeds to be planted either by good or evil. And so it's like, for me, it's like, okay, Lord, my heart is open. So do some surgery while you're in there. So, cause I know I'm going to close it back up here pretty soon. So when it's back, when it's while it's ripped open, please do some work in there. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And then same thing, like with when you're in like a moment of high praise and happiness and pleasure in your life, you can also recognize that, hey, I'm more open right now too. So let me sow some seeds here. Cause I know that, you know, it's going to, maybe it probably won't always be this way, you know? And so it strengthens you. So just to comment more on that, and then I'd love to follow up. I have a couple of other thoughts and questions, but to anybody who struggles with the haters in their comments, in their DMs, anybody out there putting themselves out there and struggling with that, or even, not even online, like bullying or anything, people who struggle with negative comments, with those haters, like what's your advice for them?
I think I just thought of the cheesiest things. I was like, I think first of all, get good with God. It's like, get good with the only being that like knows you for who you are, and like understands you so fully that you don't need to like look to these people for like, oh no, you're misunderstanding, oh no, that's not who I am, that's, it's like it's so easy to fall in. I've done it so many times, to kind of keep seeking that external validation when you don't trust yourself first, and God. I feel like it's so much easier to like trust in God, and that like in turn can help you get good with you. And yeah, and I think there's just so much peace that comes from getting to know God better and getting to know you better, that when other people offer opinions as truth, you you just say like, thank you. That, but I don't believe that myself, but you do you.
Wow.
Which is hard to practice sometimes when you're like in a state of like brokenness, but it's easier to believe when you're in that state of brokenness if you've learned to practice believing that in your like in your blessing era.
Yes. Oh, come on. All right.
What did you say when people offer opinions as truth?
That's good.
My God, that's real, because that is so much of what happens online. You know what I mean? Especially in comments and things like that. Like, people spout their opinions like they are gospel truth. And if we internalize and absorb those opinions as truth, then when it comes time to absorb truth, there's no room for it. There's no space for truth if we absorb people's opinions or even our own experiences as gospel truth, because even our experiences are colored by other experiences, are colored by our perspective, are influenced by like our feelings in the moment and all these different things. And just because, oh, well, that's the way you saw it, doesn't mean that that's entirely the truth. Right. Like, even when you're in any experience or in any situation with another person, like, people will say that there's three sides to every story: your side, their side, and the truth. Because it's literally just so influenced by so many other factors. And I feel like, especially in our generation, we say a lot of things like facts. We've gotten so obsessed with facts. Yeah. Right? But facts depend on factors. And the truth is static. It's true, no matter what's going on around it. And it doesn't matter who observed it or who wrote it down or who decided, it has no external factors to act upon it. Truth is truth. And so when we look at it that way, we can take God's word and absorb that first, so that we do have that, like, let it roll off your back like a duck or whatever. But we can't do that if we're not properly, like, one of the reasons why water rolls off a duck's back is because they have natural oils on their feathers that causes the water to roll off. So if you're not properly lubricated with the truth, then you will absorb opinions like they're truth. And then when truth comes, there's nowhere to put it. Right. And so I'm always like counseling people to, like you said, get good with God, like get acquainted with what he has to say about you. Like, literally a few days ago, there was something that I felt like it was whispered externally. Like, it didn't come from inside of my own brain, but it was a suggestion like, oh yeah, you're this, you're that. And I was like, I was prepared to absorb it. But then I said, wait a minute, no. And I remembered what God says about me, because I had done so much work years ago to like absorb the truth of what God has to say about me. Psalm 139, that chapter gets me good. It gets me together every time. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knoweth right well. How precious are your thoughts unto me, O God. How great is the sum of them. I don't have to absorb other people's thoughts about me, because the sum of his thoughts toward me are so great that they outnumber any of the opinions that anybody could shoot my way online in a comment section, or even, you know, a dirty look or anything like that. Like, no one's opinion is above his thoughts toward me. And being able to like first absorb that, but also say it out of my own mouth is like, it's an absolute weapon against, like, it literally cuts through the noise.
Oof.
You know,
I love that you call it a weapon, because it's like, it do be a battlefield out there.
Yeah,
It
it is. There's
It
a book
is.
called The Battlefield of the Mind, and that's like the whole point. It's like everything that happens to affect us happens here first, and then it gets externalized. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's a verse that says that the word of God is quick and it's powerful and it's sharper than any two-edged sword. And the two-edged means two-mouthed, because it was first powerful because it came out of his mouth. And then it's powerful because it's coming out of ours. Like, so we have the opportunity to take the word of God and use it as a sword against any of the opposition that comes against us. Like I was saying, they're sparring partners. We're supposed to be able to take the word of God and use it as a weapon, even though it does so many other things too. It can simultaneously build us and tear down whatever it is that the enemy is trying to build in us.
Right.
So it's just like, that's why I'm always like, I mean, I know affirmations are cute, but let me tell you something about this word, okay? Because you get that in you, nothing else works like that.
I know. It's so interesting, because like when you said that the whole duck, like you, if there's no enough lubrication with the maker, it's like hard to absorb the actual truth. Like, to me, it was like hard to recognize truth.
Wow.
Because it was like you spend so much time believing other things that when you like, when I was crying to you one time and you were like, you told me like you were like fearfully and wonderfully made, and that's what Tammy tells me all the time too. I was like, no, I'm not.
Who do you think tells her that?
Probably you, because big sister energy.
Always.
Like, it was really hard to internalize that like truth, because like I spent so much time trying to prove that to other people. Like, you know what I mean? Where you're like, it was hard to believe when you're like in the thick of the self-deprecating, like.
Yeah. So do you think that it's really about you proving it to yourself?
Yes, 100%. Like, that's like what I've I've realized in like recent times, that I think I've just been like trying to not abandon myself again. Like, it felt like I abandoned myself a lot in situations before, and like, it was starting, like, it led me to like have so much grace for this other person in my life, because I was like, oh, I wasn't really being true to myself. I wasn't like taking care of me. I wasn't like showing up for myself, and that's why I was like asking you to like pick me, choose me, love me.
Wow. Yeah.
Right. When you weren't willing to do those things for yourself.
Yeah. It was like, it was something, like I said earlier, it was something that I needed to do for myself, and I was so uncomfortable with facing that, that I was like constantly waiting for this other person to do it for me.
Whoa.
Breakups are so fun.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned in the breakup?
I
that you
think
keep referring to that we were not trying to bring up.
Oh,
by
I'm
the
so
way.
sorry.
No, listen. You open the door, I'm walking through it.
We can close it.
Yeah. but seriously, biggest lessons, yeah.
But I mean, I think it was like I'm trying to like have like lead with love with it. Like I like to work from love, not for love, has been so healing. Like recently, I think that's the biggest takeaway I have from that. It's like I have so much love to give, for sure, but I wasn't like operating from a place of abundance. Like I probably didn't fully believe that I was fully lovable, that I could receive it back, and I wasn't. I don't know. So yeah, I think it was just that like love is like so free and so like abundant to me and for me that I don't have to like earn it. Like it's something that I could just be grateful for when it happens or when it knocks. And I feel like it's something that I have to believe I deserve also. Like
yeah.
Like from me. Like and you know?
Yeah.
From me. And I think that's just like that's how you operate from it when you know deep inside that you have a full well abundant of it, like from God. I feel like I'm just like,
yeah,
I tend to take like God take a back seat when I'm doing something that I don't fully think he's gonna love.
yeah.
Or when I
Oh yeah, and then when things start going off the rails, then it's Jesus take the wheel.
Yes, exactly.
But before that, it's like I'm driving. You can sit in the passenger seat, I guess. You know.
But it's so interesting though. Like I've also learned how, like, what was that Elder Holland like quote? He was, I don't know if it was Elder Holland, but it was like God will do everything in His power except violate your agency. To help you, like to be there for you and to succor you, and that's something that I've been like feeling recently, like when I like unburdened myself of these things that I was so insecure about and these things that I was trying to prove and I was trying to do. He like immediately flooded as soon as I was like,
interesting,
yes, Lord. I'm like all out of like cards. Like you can do it. And he's like, say less. I've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah.
Type of thing where it was just like so like obvious. Like the blessings are like just so obvious, and like I got so much closer to Shay and Jake and like the like family that just like is so supportive and so just like abundant in the way they love and the way I mean you guys also. I had made my way back to the King Will Come.
Yes. Oh, Izzy's in the King Will Come.
Oh yeah,
us. That's how we met her, how we know her.
Yeah, which
but
journey there we talk about for sure.
Listen, I just need to say big sister energy again. Just I don't think I've met any of your family members. Maybe I've met one. I don't know. Like maybe one of your brothers or something like that. But I don't think I've met any of your family members. This is purely what I have witnessed online. But first of all, your dad helping you start your YouTube channel, like your dad being the reason that you're even doing what you're doing, because he's like, no, we're gonna set up this camera and we're gonna do it. You know, like that's the foundation of love that you come from. I'm going to rebuke you a little bit. How dare you settle for anything less?
Sorry, ma'am.
Your parents and the sacrifice that they have like put out into the world to make sure that you and your siblings succeed. That's the energy that you need to be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't no pick me girl.
Bet.
Okay? That's not you.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the future,
Mm-hmm.
when we're interviewing candidates for the position of cultivator and husband, let us remember the resume of love
Right.
that you already have
Mm-hmm.
in your arsenal. If that person cannot live up to and add to what you already have,
Mm-hmm.
they don't belong in the position.
Mm-hmm.
They literally cannot sustain the position.
I mean, how do you add
Right.
That part.
Right.
I'm just because we not doing it.
Yeah.
And I could say that to her, but I could say it to every single one of these young ladies who are
Mm-hmm.
in our comments and who watch very, very faithfully. We have several of you guys that are just like, you watch every episode and you comment and you're talking about the kind of love that you want. Like she's saying, you need to be good with God. You need to have a foundation of love for yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, then when you meet somebody who is capable of loving you, they're going to be able to tell pretty early that you don't love yourself. And a lot of times it's hard for people not to take advantage of that because it's a boundary.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like saying, you can step over this because it's not really a boundary. You know what I mean? Like, you can treat me this way because I treat me this way. When, if you establish the boundary of taking care of yourself and loving yourself, and not in a way that excludes others and, you know, puts yourself above other people or anything like that, but just like basic stuff. Like, if you can love yourself enough to walk away from a horrible situation, love yourself enough to work on yourself, love yourself enough to get close to God and let him love you, and then increase your love for yourself through loving you, through you loving him, like all of that. Like, I feel like if we just have a relationship with God and with ourselves, then a lot of the crap that we settle for wouldn't happen.
And it's like, that's a tall ask. I think the first thing you told me was, girl, you done made this guy your God.
Whoa.
And I wrote a song about it.
You did?
Yeah, it's talking to me. Remember that one?
Oh. Okay.
And I was like, oh, wow, that is so unfair for this person. Like, and for me, and for, like, you know, the thing that it's like, that's not fair. Like, when you like give another person the task to love you because you couldn't do it for yourself, it's like, that's like unfair to that other person. He's like, that this person is also just trying to, like,
that's true,
do their thing. And like, I don't know, I that's a big space to fill if that's not something you're comfortable doing for yourself. It's like, I don't think any other person would be able to.
No.
Like, that's not, you know, you can have someone there to comfort you as you're going through this journey of self-love and finding God, but truly it's just like God that can fill. It's like trying to, what is Tammy, who said this, but like trying to fill, like trying to put a needle in a Texas size hole or something, or like type of thing. What is that?
I don't.
Who said that?
I've never heard it specifically like that, but it is trying to fill a God-sized hole, and anything you put into a God-sized hole that's not God gets sucked in because it's a black hole. It becomes a black hole otherwise. Like, he's the only one that can fill that space. It's because he designed it.
Right.
It's his space, you know, and nothing else fills it.
Right.
Everything else just gets sucked in, and then you need more, and then you need more, and then you need more, because it doesn't fill it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you've highlighted so many truths, you know, just in the comment about
just so many.
Yeah, like, it's so good.
We've been healing.
Yeah.
Songwriter.
There are many things to talk about, but I think it could come, if someone's just like tuning in, like, just, you know, they could view what we're saying, like, so we're talking like in these absolutes, you know, and these and that kind of thing. And sometimes people feel like that's kind of judgy or whatever. But I do think, and this is just where we're all at. Like, this is part of our journey, right? Like, this is our understanding at this point, right? In a lot of ways. But it's not so much like you said, it's how God designed it. It's like we're just kind of commenting on our experience, yes, but also believing in God's word and believing that there is a creator, believing that there is a certain way that things should be or can be optimally aligned. It's not like you can't go do certain things. Like, there are plenty of people out there who have good relationships, they have marriages and all this kind of stuff without God. They've aligned certain things. But when Jesus said the greatest commandments are, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind, and love thy neighbor as thyself. When he said those 3 great commandments, there's like keys to the universe there. Like, if you align your relationships in that way, God first, you fill the God-sized hole, because that's how we're designed. Then yourself, then neighbor. When you align all that stuff, it's just working with the system. So so it could sound judgmental, like, oh, this is the only way to do it. It's like, that's not what we're saying. Like, but God kind of did put things together in a certain way. And if we can just like align with that, we're gonna avoid a lot of hardship, And it's not like the whole point is to avoid hardship either. But I think, if you put God first, like everybody says, and really do it, and then love yourself, then it allows the proper weight to be on that marriage relationship. Because otherwise, like you said, it kind of becomes unfair. Like, you're requiring something of them that they're not equipped to do.
Right.
When it's really your job to love yourself, and God's and your job to put God first, and you're actually putting them in the God position. They're not equipped to do that. And so, like you said, it just creates an imbalance, which creates, tension and friction.
Not fair. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's not.
Yeah.
You're setting them up for failure.
Right. Right. You're kind of just like waiting for them to like misstep.
Right.
And they will.
Because
they're not God.
I'm just walking.
Right. Right.
I'm just walking here. I'm trying my best.
Oh, yeah. Good lessons.
Yeah. And it's because like to the point of, like having such like loving parents and having such loving and supportive like foundations, it's like for the longest time I felt like I was trying to like, because there were so many sacrifices made, I felt like it was my job to like return the favor. Like, I want them, like, I just like, okay, I'm gonna do my best to be successful because you like love me so much, like because of love and not from that love. And recently I've just been like, I've been spending a lot of time with my parents and a lot of time with my family.
It's so cute.
It's so like, every time I come home, my dad would be like, every time my sister also like would have a layover in our hometown, he would like go to the store and like buy the ingredients to her favorite meal and like make her food, or like pick her up from the airport at like 1 or 2 a.m. when he has work early the next day. It was just this like these little things. It would not. He wasn't like my parents didn't used to be like verbal loving people, because it was just like something you did. But recently, having like spent a lot of time with them and having like a new perspective, I feel like on love, it's like you just like, it's hard not to operate from it and not for it. Like like it's I appreciate them so much, and I like get to love them better and love other people better because of how oh my gosh, how like free and expectationless it truly is to love somebody. Like, you just like get to be loved, and you just get to love them. It's like my parents, like, I don't know, like, because life has been like so hard for them, like the expectations was just like, I just want you to have a good life type of scenario. And recently my mom was like, I talked to my mom and she was just like, I thought I knew what's best for you before, like, and that was why it was like hard to like show that. And she's like, I'm sorry, like I just want you to be happy, and I realize now that you know that best, and God knows that best, and so I get to just be here and and support you through that. And it was so healing to me.
Wow.
and to her probably, and like, because I don't know, it was like such a I love you, Nana. Yeah, it's so freeing to be able to love someone without expectations like that. Like anyone. I feel like.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many things blazing through my head. That is so valuable. I saw there's a statistic, and it had to do with retention in churches. Like, what would kids stay in church? And the statistics were that children were much more likely, like a very high percentage likelihood more, to stay in church after they left home if they had parents who were willing to admit that they were wrong and say, I'm sorry. So your mom coming and say, I'm sorry, and say, hey, I had that wrong or whatever, that being such a healing thing and bringing you closer together. It feels like, I think a lot of parents sometimes, and we just feel like we have to get it right all the time. We have to be perfect. And but if we can acknowledge that we're also human and we're all here for the first time on earth, you know? And so, you know, like, we mess up with our 3-year-old
all the time.
And I have to ask for his forgiveness all the time because he gets me riled up, you know?
Oh, yeah. There's a side of Brighton that I didn't even know existed until...
We don't have to go there, did we?
Sorry. So we had David, and he's like such a spicy little boy. Like, he's very sweet, but he also has a spicy side that is like, he's very strong-willed. He knows what he wants.
I wonder where he gets that from.
I don't know. But like, recently he got me frustrated, or I don't even know if he got me frustrated, but something happened and I hurt him unintentionally, and I asked him to forgive me. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And he said, it's okay, Mom, sometimes we make mistakes.
Huh.
I was like, yeah. Right. That's so, yeah. But coming from a 3-year-old, it's like, you know?
So, I mean, that's so healing in a parent-child relationship. But then what you said about loving expectationless, there are the couple things that I would like to bring together and get more of your thoughts on, because you've been through a journey. Maybe part of what you've learned could be helpful to people. Is you mentioned the earning thing, earning God's love and working from love versus for love. And I'd love to talk about that more in a second. I've got a quote. And the other thing is expectationless love. And the freedom and the beauty of that. And so these things are kind of connected. So I've got a couple of quotes. You know, I've been on the John Mark Comer vibe recently, and just this morning, he said something kind of inflammatory. He said, much has been said about the rise of consumer Christianity in recent decades, but much less has been said about its possible connection to the way the gospel has been preached. The relationship of some Western Christians to the gospel is passive. We are often told it's not about what you do, it's about what Jesus has done for you. But that's a false dichotomy, and that language is never used by any of the New Testament writers. It seems the Western church has at times been more careful to avoid works righteousness than to avoid sin. He goes on to say, the Gospels are full of story after story of compassion. In Jesus' parables, we're the servant whose debt of billions is forgiven by the king, the prodigal who is welcomed home with a feast we've squandered after we've squandered our father's inheritance, and the beggar outside the gate who is seated at Abraham's table as the guest of honor. It's always been grace, pure grace, always. But Jesus didn't go around beating up on self-effort either. As the saying goes, grace is not opposed to effort, it is opposed to earning.
What?
Grace is not opposed to effort, it is opposed to earning. Don't conflate the two. So I want to know what your thoughts are on that, because I think it's safe to say most humans Americans, Christians, and if you come from a Latter-day Saint background like we do, there can be a pretty heavy emphasis on performance,
Mm.
you know, and you have to do certain things. You have to do certain things to earn certain blessings, right?
Mhm.
And so, but then if you swing all the way over that other side, like it's not about what you do, it's about what Jesus has done for you, which is very freeing and it's very true. But then you have a lot of people who don't make any effort at all,
Mhm.
right? And so how do you marry this? How are you marrying that going from, because I think you're in that, you're learning a lot, and you mentioned a couple times that you're not earning God's love right now. You're working from it rather than for it. So like, what are the lessons you're learning about this concept of grace versus your role, your job?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And yeah, that for the longest time, it's really hard to like kind of titrate that, because you know, if you don't do enough, like shame is like something that was always like accompanied that for me. It was always like, I'm not doing enough, therefore I'm not good enough type of thing. But when like sometimes when you feel like you're just like consuming so much, like I feel like I also am at a danger of like having ego confuse that blessing.
The blessing is because of what you did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or like something like, oh yeah, I deserve this, type of thing.
Mhm.
And it's not.
Mm.
I think what's been helpful, and I definitely still go on waves around this topic, but I feel like it's been so helpful to like really get to know God and work from gratitude, like you said, because if like when you start getting to know him and knowing full well like how he sees you and what he wants for you and how he wants to love you, like you get to just work from a place of gratitude. Like you just like in the with my parents, it was like I just get to like enjoy these blessings and do everything I can to work for this like mission that I know I've been sent to do, that like these things that I've been sent to do, and the effort comes from gratitude, from like being grateful, like, oh, I get to do this with you, and I get to like know you better because I'm doing this with you. And yeah, I feel like it's just been so much more freeing when you like look at it from a perspective of like something you get to do. So effort has been so much easier when you know that it's not coming from you also.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as you know, as you probably can relate, like as creatives, it's like so hard to not let imposter syndrome just
For real
stop
Just
you from
paralyze
creating.
you?
Yes, it's so
Ugh.
paralyzing.
It's so paralyzing. And like me saying what I said to you about like opposition, like that is real time for me because you know, I'm a Bible study teacher. I'm like obsessed with scripture and Hebrew and all the things. And for someone like this happened a few times, our comments and my own content, where people will get in the comments and just say the most like the craziest things. Like if you knew me, you would not say that. If you knew how much I know or how much like I revere this, you would never say what you just said. And people tend to make these big assumptions about your entire life from one piece of content.
Right.
They can like, you know, gauge your entire walk with the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, your whole relationship with God off of seeing one clip. Not even like, they didn't even watch the whole episode of whatever. Like just one clip. And then they know everything about you. And it's so frustrating and infuriating. But at the same time, it's like, well, God knows me. And he knows that that's not what I meant. So your opinion is really not worth much right now.
Right. And it's, I don't know, sometimes I get curious. I'm like, I wonder what kind of walk you're on.
Yeah. Sure.
That this is
That's
something
so generous.
Oh, I mean, you gotta try.
Yeah, you do.
Because otherwise, it's like it can get pretty rabbit holey, or just
Mhm.
like, man, I hope you're on your healing arc too.
Right, right. Mm.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know, coming to terms with like, oh, that's not my job. Like, it's not my job to
Yeah.
convince you of anything. Like, that's not what I was sent to do. Carly says it all the time. She's like, my job is to love. Like, and that's what she's like called to do, and I feel like, yeah, like that's the only thing I get to do.
Yeah.
It's not my job to convince you otherwise. I get to just show up the way I feel the most confident and the most loved and loving. And it's not my job though. Like, the way you interpret anything past that is something that you will work on in your walk also.
Yes. Well, that's really valuable what you said about living from gratitude. I think that's huge. Just living from gratitude. And it sounds like following Jesus and having this relationship, this walk with God for you is not a have to get to. That
you've said get to a few times.
I just love that. Because, like with the whole idea of agency, like this is something I get to choose. Like this is like a blessing that he's not withholding. It's not like a come follow, like I said earlier, like come follow me so I can give you rest. It's like come follow me and I will give you rest. Like, like it's like I'm with you, like whether or not you choose it. But you will feel it deeply, like more like deeper, and it'll be more life-changing if you choose it,
Yeah.
I think I was watching a sermon recently, and the preacher was saying, like, we're always talking about being inclusive nowadays, and it's necessary for us to be inclusive, but what we got to understand is that God is not being exclusive. It's us. He is doing everything that he can to include us, but we have to choose. We have to reach back. We have to participate. Come follow. Like, if you don't come follow me, if you're not doing what I told you to do, then you can access what I've made freely available. It's not like it's this exclusive thing where, it's behind all these locked and you got to have the secret password and all the things. But you do have to do something. You have to agree, because he's not going to trespass on your boundaries. He's a gentleman. He's not going to take away your agency because he doesn't want to see you trash yourself. He's never gonna step past the boundaries that we set up for him. And so we have to say yes. We have to follow. We have to walk in his ways. We have to obey the things that he put out so that we could be successful, so that we could be happy, so that we could be blessed. It's not that he's withholding these things from us, but there are certain things that everybody has to do if they want to actually experience them. And
but you just I'm with you, but you also just said have to a bunch of times. So talk to us about have to versus get to in that situation.
Well, okay, have to or get to. But we could say get to. Get to feels better, and it's true. It's a choice. That's and I think that's the point that the get to is trying to emphasize, that it's a choice. You could choose not to, and that is your choice. But that also means that you don't get to experience all of the good and all of the beauty and all of the things that he has for us. There are certain things that are available to us no matter what we do. Like, you go outside and it's pretty because the Lord designed it to be pretty, and that's for everybody. But if there's certain things like spiritually that we want to experience, that is a choice that needs to be made. We get to make that choice, or we get to say no, and we also get to not experience the things that he has in store for us if we make the choice that leads us in that direction. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe have to is inflammatory language, but it's still choice based. Like, you have to make the choice.
And I mean, I get it. Like, sometimes it feels like God is just like, you have to choose this.
Right.
Like, you know, he's like your cheerleader.
Right.
Who's like,
Please choose
please,
this.
you have to. Like, I have so much I have for you. Like, and it's for you. Like, it's right here. Like, you just you get to choose it. But, like, you have to want this. Like, it's like that. Sometimes I just imagine him just like, okay,
Yeah.
it's still yours whenever you want it. Like,
Yeah. And it'll just be like sitting there waiting for you. Just like you said, like it's so obvious once you take the time to actually see it.
Yeah.
Like, how did I miss this? You know?
Yeah.
But
It's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, he will never infringe on your agency.
He's such a gentleman that way. He's like, I'll stand at the door and knock as long as you've got the door closed. If you open it, I'll come in and we'll, you know.
Yeah.
This one bishop, he said he want to sup with you.
Sup is crazy.
He wants to see what's up with you. He wants to chill with you. He wants to do all the things with us that we allow him to. But he's never gonna just like kick the door down. He's not gonna do even if what's happening behind the door is detrimental to us. He'll send other people. He'll find ways to get to us. He'll try. He'll exhaust every opportunity, every option that he has. But he's not gonna trespass.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, I've had him say recently to me, like, I've let him past the door with the drawbridge and the moat with the alligators and all the things. I let him pass that part. But there was still other places that were like blocked off in my heart. And he said, it looks like that because you ain't let me in that part. And I was like, oh. He's like, can I come in? But, yeah. All I had to do was say yeah. And from there, it was just like night and day, the difference.
Right.
The difference his presence makes in every situation is mind-boggling. It's just like...
It is.
And that's why we're supposed to welcome him into relationships. That's why it's not even about welcoming him into relationships. It's if we make our relationship with him paramount, then he is present in all the other relationships because he's first.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if he's not just like the safety net.
Ooh.
Where it's like...
Yeah.
It sometimes be feeling like that. Where he's... and I feel so irresponsible with the kind of grace he lives when it's like that, when it's like, oh, I'll reach out to you when I need you, I'll call you in a little bit. Like, you know, and it feels so...
Yikes.
Yeah, it feels so wrong. But also it's just like how grand of a God he is to be like waiting, like either way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ugh.
He truly models. We were just watching the latest season of the Chosen, and it was when Jesus washed the feet of the disciples, just modeling to us what it really means to have greatness in the kingdom. And so God, as grand as he is, he's waiting on us, serving us, wanting to love us and willing to wait. And he's just there. And that shows us, because maybe we also, I mean, yes, grand on a throne, 100%. But I think what we think a throne looks like is probably different, you know? Like his grandness is actually his waiting on us and serve. That's his nature. He can't be anything but love. I'm just learning. So, man, we have so much to learn. So I do. Can we kind of go on a little bit of a turn? Is that okay?
I have one more quote.
You have a quote? Okay.
You've mentioned getting to know God and then getting to know yourself a couple of times. And this quote is one of the ones that I continuously go back to because I love it. And I love how it describes the availability that we have to actually like get to know God and what it does to our lives as a result. It's by Ned Erickson. And he says, get to know Jesus well, because the more you know him, the more you'll love him. And the more you love him, the more you'll want to follow him. And the more you follow him, the more you'll become like him. And the more you become like him, the more you become yourself.
I love that.
Isn't it so good?
Send it to me right after, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. It's
Yeah.
literally just, it's one of my favorites because the more you get to know him, the more you get to know yourself. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I found. Like, the more I know about him, the more I discover about him, the more I'm like, hey, I'm like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, you know? And then it's something that I can enjoy and like about myself because it's something that makes me like God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow.
Because then you're not like operating from, oh, I'm made in the image of God and I'm not acting that way. Like, you must have gotten it wrong.
Right.
You know, where it's like,
Right.
that's such a big ask. It's not like, it's not an ask, it's a truth. It's a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's right.
I think I don't know who gave this talk before, but like I learned somewhere where it's like maybe like when you get like closer to the veil, it's like you like when you're in remembrance of things about yourself, you're like it's when like the veil is thinnest and you're like just remembering who you were before, like who you really are.
Yeah.
And that's
I talk
why
about that all the time because it's like there's a difference between who you've become as a result of your experiences and your traumas and the things that you've been through in life. There's a difference between who you've become and who you actually are.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a process of unbecoming who we've become in order to become who we really are. And the closer we get to the Lord, the more we discover who we actually are versus who we've become. And the more who we become starts to fall off. And we start seeing underneath all of those layers of protection that we've wrapped around ourselves, who we were designed to be. Like, just stripping everything down to brass tacks, everything down to, you know, back to manufacturer's specifications, like who you really are and who you've become, two different things. And I think if we understood that more, then we probably wouldn't be so hard on ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's like the Lord talks about how he planted eternity in our hearts. Like, that's the essence of who we really are. You know, that ancient being that we were before we were ever here, before we were ever born, like the fullness of who we are. He planted that in here, but then there's all these weeds and all these things that have grown around it, and they've been there for so long that we can't tell the difference between them and us. And when we let the gardener in, he can come in and really cultivate and make sure that like we get to recognize who we actually are versus who we've become.
Like recognizing,
recognizing. Jeez.
Yeah.
There's like an atonement book I read a couple years back, and it was talking about how, like, it was like relating it to a sculpture, like this life is you're a block of stone, and you're just chipping away, like you let your experiences chip away, and like and God just reveal what is already underneath all that stone, and like reveal like who you are. It's not like so much adding on to you and like, you know, it's like chipping away and like revealing who you are, like already.
Yeah, what's already in there.
What's you're like recognizing, refamiliarizing yourself with who, like
refamiliarizing.
Oh, yeah, who you are, like.
Yeah.
It's
It's like what Michelangelo said about how he sculpted David, and they asked him how he did it, and he said that he just chipped away everything that wasn't David.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly that.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, so let's go a little bit of a different direction. We're kind of we've talked about music, we've talked about faith, we've talked about relationships a little bit. As you know, we're all about bridge building, and I feel like you don't think of yourself this way, but you're a big time bridge builder.
For sure.
You do a lot of bridge building. So I want to talk about a couple of bridges that I've seen you build, and just get your thoughts on that. So number one, let's talk about your music. We were making this comment. We were on your Apple Music profiles, on your Spotify, right? You have done what a lot of artists and there's nothing wrong with this, but a lot of artists will separate their sacred music from their secular music, right? Um, and you have another artist name that you do release some sacred music under, but by and large, the sacred catalog and the secular catalog are just, they go under one, right? Under one artist name. And so they're together. Take us on that journey, like how you made that decision, because that's actually something a lot of artists struggle with. They don't feel like they can be a Christian artist and a pop artist at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they can't meld those worlds together. They're incompatible in some way, or the algorithm's not going to like it, or whatever, right? That kind of stuff. So take us on that journey, like how you've bridged the gap between the secular and sacred in your music, and how you approach that.
It wasn't intentional in the beginning. It was very much like there's a lot of old covers that I cannot get rid of because I released it with someone else, and that's why like I separated those. But I still am figuring that part out. I think it's like so important to be able to express yourself fully in music, and not hide anything in the way I write. I feel like music is so personal to me that it has to be that, otherwise it's not mine. Or like it's not saying it like it's anything is actually mine, like
no, totally.
But in that context of
Yeah.
of profiles and things. But I feel like I'm just like, as I'm getting good with God and getting good with like what I'm meant to do, it's always been apparent to me that I get to like sing about him and sing about everything else in life. And like that's always, I mean, growing up LDS, it was hard for me to like not have gone on a mission. Like it was something that I was always like, I didn't go, I didn't feel good enough to go, type of thing. But ever since I started writing about him and about my testimony, it's like, it was like so apparent. He was like, no, this is your mission. Like this is what I've called you to do. Like, and not to like that's a responsibility. That's not a privilege, you know, where it's like, and it was very, very healing for me to hear that and know that I get to do that. And I feel like it's all me, it's all God. And it's like, you can't really separate something that's all encompassing like that. Like, even if like a person listens to like that song, like on that album, I feel like you get to just see the other part, like other face of me and the way I've experienced God with me by hearing a quirky song about love, you know? And I feel like it's, I don't know, like right now it feels like right. It feels like the way to go about it. I just feel like I can't really separate the two.
Yeah. And maybe later on, you know, because your career moves, you might make different strategic choices, you know, and that's totally valid. But like, that's cool. Like that's where you're at in this moment. And that's kind of what I was picking up, was that you've kind of just arrived like, this is who I am, you know, like I don't need to separate these things necessarily, and I don't have an agenda. I'm just expressing myself genuinely. Like, because I think it's sometimes as artists who are believers, we don't think we can express those God parts, the things, our relationship with God, but that's just as much, it's a huge part of our life that if we don't express that, then we're not being all the way authentic either, you know? So, but there are a lot of considerations in terms of, you know, careers and profiles and algorithms. I totally understand that. But I think that's a really cool thing, because Sweet Tangerine is such a bop. Like it's such a great song, you know? And then to have Beloved play right after it is like, we were jamming to both on the way here, you know?
Interesting, yeah.
But it's you, like they're just both expressions of you. So what I think I've kind of noticed in your journey is that you're just kind of integrating, you know, like all these pieces of who you are, and it's coming out artistically, it's coming out in all these areas of your life, just different expressions, right? And it's like, so Sweet Tangerine is like such a bop, but then I could also listen to some of the sacred stuff that you've done. It just all feels like you know, but you also might have to separate it for different, branding purposes, and that's totally fine too, so, but that's a journey that I think a lot of artists are on, a lot of artists who are believers are trying to figure that out. And so I thought that's an interesting bridge to build, like for instance, so let's now talk about The King Will Come, right? So you've had an interesting journey with The King Will Come, right?
Yes.
There's a lot to that. So, and you're going to be a featured artist on an upcoming song that is very squarely in the praise and worship space, right? Which is really interesting.
And you kill.
It sounds so good, and I think our audience is going to love it. But yeah, just talking about your experience with The King Will Come and just your journey in faith, feels like you've done a lot of bridge building within yourself and integrating within yourself, and you've answered a lot of questions. You've been through a lot of probably doubts and different phases within that journey to this point now where we're sitting here talking, and you feel like you're in this place of peace and
Really?
identity, and flowing from, like you said, not working for. And so kind of explain that journey and weave The King Will Come in there, your story with The King Will Come. I just like to know your journey of faith, where you've been and where you are now, and kind of maybe if you can fit The King Will Come in there some way, that'd be cool too. Yeah.
That'd be cool too. I feel like growing up, I just looked at faith as a black and white thing. It was either the teaching or it's not. And I think that's why I think I had a hard time accepting other ways, other places where I can find God, because I was so used to structure and believing that gospel was black and white. I mean, which is, in some ways true. It's truth is truth for sure, but it was hard to believe he could be elsewhere because of the place of scarcity I was operating from in terms of faith. I think it was definitely just that. Is this a place of scarcity and the fear of if I believe this is you also, will that dismantle everything I know about you to be true? Or the fear of having to change, I think is something that has stopped me from seeking God everywhere. It's
so would you say you were kind of exclusivistic?
Yes.
Exclusive and
100%.
and afraid that acknowledging or accepting truth elsewhere would somehow cancel the truth that you already had, or cause you to have to question all the other truth you had.
I think
that?
so.
Okay, I can totally relate to that.
I think so. It was very much because I feel if I acknowledge that, I also have to acknowledge that I have so much work to do in terms of my relationship with God. It was part of the reason why I kind of left also a little bit is because I was I was pretty busy, but I was also not very in tune with the way with my relationship with God. And I think I'm trying to stop seeing God as or faith as a 100% or 0% type of thing, as a scale like that. And more so as where there's good, there's God. And that's all I have to know. And it's definitely been so helpful to have lived in so many different places and worshipped and saw, have gone to church in so many different places. I've gone to church in the Philippines and in California and in here and everywhere else. And it was so interesting to see how much of it was culture and how much of it was God. It's kind of hard to separate that, because it's in the Philippines, in the collectivist culture, it was always what are you doing for the community? What are you doing for the rest of the family, you know, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to like an individualistic country, and it was like, what are you doing for yourself as you're growing into God? And culturally, you know, there's postures that exist in certain cultures and certain communities that stop you from fully seeing God and seeking a personal relationship with him. So I've just been trying to get in tune with his voice. You know, it was really cool when we were filming Dwell. Oh, that one song that we're releasing. Oh, was I supposed to say?
Oh, you're fine. Yeah. Yeah, there's a song called Dwell that's coming out. It's going to be on the Kingdom Comes album.
Yes.
Yep.
She is the feature artist.
Mhm.
So good.
It's an amazing song. And the whole time we were filming, I was just like coming into filming that, I was like, I hope I don't mess up. I'm so scared that I'm going to fail you. Like, you know, in how I show up today. And they're going to know. All my friends are going to know. I'm just faking it. They're going to know I'm not good enough type of thing. And I just like felt such like it was just like a rush of peace, and it was like a hug from behind, and it was like, I'm covering you, don't you worry type of thing. And at one point I looked around like, and I saw you just praising and just like being in your own with God, and you and Ashley just like bawling her eyes out in the back. And I just realized how much we were experiencing it together, but it really wasn't about us experiencing it together. It was about like, it was this. It felt like a this moment instead of a this. With the big light up on top also, it felt like a cry for help, like that everyone was just having internally. Yeah. It was just like everyone was going through their own thing and their own fire, like refiner's fire in that moment. And I was like, this feels so private, but also in such a shared space. Like how does that happen? How do we all have private like experiences, and that's like I think the beauty and like the exclusivity like in the relationship with God. Like I cannot see what your relationship looks like, and that's amazing because he's tailoring anything, any message, any revelation towards what you're going through. And it's not like that's something we get to keep with it, like together. That's something that we can only us knows.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I think that's how I've been trying to operate from recently, and I've just grown to have more gratitude and like an openness to receiving him everywhere because of that, because of how personal.
Wow.
I'm struggling still.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time, but
yeah.
A hard time with what?
With feeling like I'm doing a good job at it. Because there's still some part of me that wants to perform for God.
Oh, for sure.
That's a whole nother path that we could go down because one thing that we don't ever look at God as, at least not in my experience in church, and I've been to a lot of churches. I've gone to church my whole life pretty much. Interacted with just about every denomination there is. And one thing I never hear is God referred to as a performer. But he is. In Jeremiah, it says that he watches over his word to perform it. In Luke chapter 1, Elizabeth prophesies to Mary, and she says, "Blessed is she that believed, for there shall be a performance of the things that were said to her." And I don't think that we ever look at God as a performer. So when it comes time for us to be in front of him, there is this condemnation toward performance. But if we are to be like him, then we are performers as well.
Mm.
We've heard that saying, I think it might have been a Shakespeare quote, but all the world's a stage,
Mm.
right? He's the author and finisher, right? He's like, there's so many different things pointing to him being a performer and being a playwright and being someone who puts on a different costume depending on the scene that he's needed in, and how he acts out his word, how he performs his word. And it's not, when you think about a performance, you think about, you know, practice. You think about like having to rehearse so that there's excellence, so that you're not like checking the script, and you know what I mean? Like performance is polished.
Mm.
Performance is a result of rehearsal. It's a result of investing in your gift and investing in the thing that you're performing. You know what I mean? It's the polished product of all the work that you've been doing. And so I know that the connotation behind it is that to perform is bad.
Mm-hmm.
To put a face on
Mm-hmm.
before God is bad, which is true. But to perform, to take the things that we have taken all of our time and energy perfecting and pouring into and really polishing, to give God the polished product of what he's placed in us. I can't think of that as a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe even like switching our perspective when it comes to performance. Like, there's nothing wrong with you performing.
Right.
As long as what's behind it is a pure heart.
Right.
You know
I
what I mean?
guess it all comes down to intention.
Not like, right. It's not like I'm trying to impress you, God, but I'm trying to show you that I have been faithful with what you've given me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the guy with all the talents, when the Lord gave everybody the talents and he comes back to see what they did with them. The guy who had the most talents, he invested those things. He took it and he spread it out. He did everything that he could. He increased what God gave him. And when it was time for him to show it, he showed it. He showed the polished product. It wasn't like, oh, I don't want to brag. You know, it was not, it was not that. It was just a presentation. Like, this is what it is. This is what I did with what you gave me. And I think that can be what performance is. As if like you're standing there and like in front of a camera and taking the gift that God gave you and giving it back to him by showing him how polished it is, by showing him how much work you've put into it. That cannot be a bad thing. Because being a performer makes you like God, because he's a performer.
Yeah, I guess is the intention, right? You know,
Yeah.
because I can relate, like, because you perform obviously, but your main background growing up was this worship. My main background, I think your main background was performing for people, right? And I lived, as our friend Lady Gaga, who we've had on the podcast before, would say,
for the applause.
I live for the applause, right? And so I really have had to fight that, and so I do dip back into that sometimes. So I can also relate to what you're saying. So I think it's exactly what you're saying. It's all the heart, and I think what you've dealt with a lot is you'll have people in the worship space who think it's so much about this that they forget completely about these people and the excellence that needs to be attached to the performance, right? So I think it's just
there's this connotation, like if you're a worshiper. I heard this so much growing up. Oh, I'm not a professional, I'm a worshiper. As if a professional cannot be a worshiper.
Right.
As if you cannot do it in a way that is excellent, in a way that is polished, in a way that is so glorifying to God, because you took the time to do it in excellence. There's always been that, like, especially in the church space. I'm just a worshiper.
Yeah.
I don't do all that. I'm just a worshiper.
Right.
And it's like, so are we saying that what I do is not worship?
I also feel like it also comes from a space of like trying to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
Like growing up, it was hard for me to
Yeah.
actually be like accepting of anyone's compliments. Like someone would say something nice and I'd be like, "Oh, I actually was really feeling really bad that I wasn't in my best type of thing where it's like
Yes.
I actually made a mistake this one time during that whole thing."
Right.
And like, why is it so hard to just say thank you?
Totally.
Because like I was like taught growing up that like stepping into that confidence and stepping into like owning up to like what you do and what like that talent is cocky or like
Mm-hmm.
is egotistical. But
Yeah.
like in a way, like that reverse is also egotistical because it was like, because it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're still
People don't think of self-deprecation or like putting yourself down or even a low self-esteem. They don't think of it as pride, but it is.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's been so
Mm-hmm.
like, oh wow, like because it's this way. It's I feel
Yeah.
so. I mean, if it's not, I don't know. Yeah, it's always. I've been like trying to figure out if what level of self awareness is
right.
is good, and at what point does it
Yeah.
start becoming like toxic if you don't do anything about it? Like if like yeah. Right. So I
That's
feel like
good.
that's where
That's really good.
where I've been like, because I'm so self-aware that it's actually
Yeah,
It's
you become
funny.
self-critical,
It's-
self-judgmental,
yes.
and condemning as well.
Mhm.
Right? No, I can relate to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
we have to keep that in balance.
For sure.
Isn't life is so much about balance? Even this conversation about worshiping and performing versus performing. It's
Right.
not. It's an and.
It's an
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the beautiful things about what we get to experience within The King Will Come. It's been so challenging to all of us. I think it's is combining these worlds of worship and performance and the horizontal relationship and the vertical relationship and the inner relationship and dealing with people from Latter-day Saint backgrounds who no longer Latter-day Saint background, evangelical or even agnostic, a lot of Pentecostal influence. There's a lot of things in there, then a lot of cultural backgrounds that you bring into and you put us all in the same room. And so, and I think it's like an experiment. It's like a journey of learning how to really incorporate the and really build a bridge. And so my final question to you on related to The King Will Come, and through this, I think we can get more insight into bridge building. But when you think about that group, The King Will Come, it's such a great kind of, like I said, experiment, kind of a petri dish, like see what's going to happen. But these people for three years now, over 3 years, have stayed together through all kinds of craziness, all these different backgrounds. And so I'm curious, like, what would you say? What is the key? What has kept this group of people from different backgrounds who are dealing with all their personal inner problems and the dissonance and the tension that comes from dealing with people of different backgrounds, when it's so much more comfortable just to go and be around people who believe the same as you and look the same as you and just can affirm who you are, we actually keep on coming together over and over again, and have done that for 3 years now. Like, what do you think, what's the key to the bridge building you've seen there in The King Will Come?
That's interesting. I think 2 words come into my mind. It's like rest. It's such a place of rest for me. I think being with everybody and like hearing everyone's testimonies and being able to write with everyone, it's been like a source of rest for me. And then which like leads to that comfort of like it's comfortable also here, like it's comfortable being with people who are so different, like and then hope. It's like it's so rare to find a space where you can be just who you are and still want to be so much better. Like, I don't know where that come from. Probably up there. I don't know why that was like the first 2 things. It was like I can like it's so like comforting and comfortable to be with people who you can just be who you are and still like encourage you to be better and like hope and I think in terms of faith I like grow so much being with everyone at the Kingdom Come and just allowing that space to be where I find God, because I see it so clearly in everyone. Like I'm like, there's no way he's not here.
Right.
What do you mean?
Right.
Have you met you guys?
Right.
So it's that. It's like there's like hope also that the bridge building that this is something, there's something there being built that is out of our hands and it's not our job. That it's so freeing to know that this isn't our job. We get to just show up every day and listen and allow him to like fully take the reins. And yeah, like it's like gospel versus people. Like it's like gospel is gospel, people are people. Like people misstep, like we can't really attach God to something human. I mean, like, you know, to a mistake that is human, because he does not make mistakes. And having been with everybody for 3 years, I mean, I was probably there for 2 of those.
Well, you had a moment like you said you had to take a break, but I think there were multiple reasons for that, and maybe there was a time where it didn't feel as comfortable or like a place of rest for you. You know? And that's okay.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a reason like bigger than us, and there's a hope there also that it's just like something that like bigger than what I can understand. Like there's a reason why we're still here and we're still going, and it's not our job to understand it, it's our job to follow, and it's our job to just allow ourselves to be open through that journey.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it's just a beautiful place to be with God.
Yeah. Well, and I think you are an embodiment of someone who's been through a lot of journey, a lot of process in your journey. But I think that's been consistent about you is, even though maybe sometimes in your life you'd be the first to say that you've not exactly wanted to be in the driver's seat sometimes, you know, just like all of us. But you keep on saying yes to God. You're that kind of person. You keep on saying yes to him. And because of that, you are in positions in life where you have a chance to continue building bridges and having a tremendous influence. And I just think you're going to be like a light in this world in so many ways. You already are, but I just feel like it's going to grow. And the Lord has foundationed you in such a way that you'll be able to go really high because you've gone really deep. Because you can't put a skyscraper on an outhouse foundation, and you've gone really deep to where you can build a skyscraper. So I think maybe you haven't seen that, but from our perspective, looking at you, you're a star, you're a light, and we just love you and we support you, and we're so grateful that we get to be in your orbit.
Oh my goodness, that's how I feel about you too. Every time I think about relationships and like, how do I well, like what do relationships, like good healthy relationships, look like? And I just see you two at rehearsal. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's been such a blessing to be around people who are such strong like disciples, and just it's been nice. I'm the oldest in my family, and I've never had older sisters and older brothers, so it's been great. And the work that you're doing, I know it's like super hard, and there's a lot of opposition, and sometimes it comes from within, like, but it's like super encouraging to see you just thrive through it. Yeah, and
Thanks, babe.
yeah,
Thanks, Izzy.
I just love you too.
We love you
We
too,
love you.
and we didn't even like jab at each other that much today. This is great.
I know.
All right, so last question. Thinking about the title of this episode, what would you call this episode?
I don't know.
Like if you had to put it in Spotify or on YouTube, like what's the title of episode 41 of the Better Together podcast? I'm thinking. I don't even we talked about a lot of stuff.
Lots of stuff. I don't know. Get good.
Yeah,
I was thinking that
Get good.
Get good or
Get good.
Good with God
Get
or
with
something like
God.
that.
Good with
Get
God.
good.
Okay, good with God.
Get good with God. Good with God.
With Ysabelle
Good with
Chavez. I love it. Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna end up with like this
like, who is
nickname that
Ysabelle
doesn't have
Chavez?
anything to do with
It's
your
okay.
actual name. He called you Chavi the other day, and I was
I
like,
did.
I know.
I know, because I'm so
I
cool.
feel like that's gonna end up being your nickname, and that's bad because it's not your name.
Hey, it's okay.
it's
I've
okay.
been running away from a lot of names. Oh,
Ooh.
my first name is Luz. Luz
Yes,
Ysabelle.
I did know that.
It's Luz Ysabelle.
They didn't know that.
It
The
actually
internet
is
didn't know.
light.
Light.
Oops.
You are light.
You are
Yeah.
light.
Is that what you said it right in? You little sneaky.
Oh man.
Loose.
So,
I forgot.
well,
That was
everybody,
your
we can't recommend Ysabelle's music and her content enough. So go stream and follow everything she's doing.
Like,
Yeah.
subscribe, comment, be nice.
Be nice to me. I'm
Okay.
soft.
She's doing some really fun things on TikTok, Instagram. She's always posting on YouTube. You guys, she's got like almost 3 million subscribers.
Yay.
Go pull her up to 3 million. But yeah, I'm interested to see how people respond to this episode because it's just been so sweet to have this conversation with you. We know that there's like this group of people that's very specific that they literally sometimes will skip to the end of the episode just so that they can hear Bryden's joke and then they go back to the beginning.
Wow.
They love this.
That's right.
They love this part of the episode. They love it. So we have committed to
I'm
leave
ready.
a smile on everyone's face at the end of every episode. Babe, what do you got for him? Let's give him a smile.
I'm not sure if what I have is great
Okay.
because I was trying not to be distracted here, but my phone was kind of going off because apparently the guy who invented throat lozenges just died. There's gonna be no coffin at his funeral. All right. Love y'all. Love y'all.
I love you guys.
Did you like it?
Yeah,
Ish?
but
I didn't get
but
it.
you died. There would be no coffin. No
Oh my goodness.
Wait, you didn't get like
English.
were you just fake laughing?
She's like,
I was like, why would anybody be coughing at the funeral?
There's no coffin at the funeral.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we
Okay.
love you guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
All right. Love y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah,
It's better with us two.